American consumers are also feeling the pinch from the tariff battle. One demographic especially, expecting parents who now face spending much more money than they had bargained for on baby gear. Okay, let's take a closer look at how these latest tariffs are affecting baby essentials. And joining us to talk about this is Beth Benike. She is the founder and CEO of Busy Baby, a Minnesota small business owner who invented the Busy Baby placemat. Beth, thanks for taking time to chat with us. I hope you enjoyed that story. So how are tariffs affecting baby products such as car seats and strollers? And why are these items being hit so especially hard?
I mean, it's hitting all of us equally, but the majority of baby products, as the last story mentioned, are manufactured in China. For those that are assembled in the U.S., they are assembled with parts that are coming from China. So the blanket tariff is making every aspect of baby gear significantly more expensive.
And let's talk about, obviously tons of these products do come from China, but are there other areas where we do get these essentials from? What other nations, and is that an alternative at this point?
You know, there are some manufacturers who moved a little bit of their manufacturing during Trump's first term, but the majority has still remained in China, and to move to other countries takes a lot of time. So even if some of these factories or some of these manufacturers move to another country, there's going to be a huge delay in getting up and running in those countries and then getting product to the U.S. So there's going to be a huge gap in products coming in.
You know, that argument there is one thing that I've heard time and time again about the possibility of moving some production, some manufacturing back to the United States. You obviously have invested a great deal of time, money, effort into your business. Do you ever see these companies moving back to the United States?
No, and the people I know that are moving now, they're not moving back to the United States. It's not possible. We don't have the infrastructure. They're moving to other countries outside of the U.S.
And how are prices increasing for some of these items? Because I just heard, $1,800 for a stroller. I think my first car cost $1,800. So, I mean, that kind of escalation is just tough on expectant families because they're trying to do an awful lot, more than likely, on a pretty tight budget.
Yeah, the families with babies are the worst hit right now because not only are they being hit with these increases, they're being hit with a ton of first-time purchases. When you become a new parent, it's your first time having to buy diapers, formulas, car seats, strollers, all of the things. So you're already hit with a burden you're not used to. And what I'm seeing is some of the manufacturers and CEOs I've talked to from baby companies, they're already raising their prices 30 to 35%, because what they're trying to do is stretch their inventory out as we wait out this time and see what's coming next, what's happening, when's the next shift going to be, that we might be able to make a plan to move forward. Right now, with the 90-day pause, we can't make a business plan of how to move forward because we don't know what comes after that 90 days. So I'm seeing a lot of my peers actually trying to slow down their sales, and they're doing that by raising prices.
Wow, yeah, that's one thing we continually hear. The uncertainty just makes things almost impossible. So what other options do families have when it comes to providing for their infant or toddler? Because passing on cribs, strollers, and such from one family to another, or from one sister to another, it's a time-honored tradition in the United States. I presume that's still going on to a huge degree. And what about reselling online or something like that?
Yeah, those things are definitely going to be increasing significantly, and in most cases, that's fine. In cases like car seats, though, car seats do have expiration dates. They can get faulty over time. So while it's fine to pass down cribs and strollers, something as essential as a car seat, which is required by law in the United States, you don't want to be passing that down too many times or even buying it from a reseller because you don't know if that car seat's already been involved in an accident.
Beth, what about product availability? Is that currently a major concern?
Yeah, from what I've gathered from the peers in the industry is there's a certain amount, myself included, I'm going to run out for a while. I'm going to use this pause to get some more of my product to the U.S. I'm going to have to pay more for it. I may have to pass along some of that to my customers. But there's another group of people that are just waiting it out, slowing down their sales, not doing production yet. There's going to be a lack of items on the shelves in the coming months.
It's tough to hear about this too, because as we talked about, suddenly you have to buy formula perhaps, or baby food, diapers, all these things add up. And with a small child, small baby, safety is always the primary concern and the focus. So how difficult is it for families who say, well, I can't afford the Mercedes of strollers, so I'm going to buy something less expensive and wonder, is this as safe as it should be?
Yeah, it's tough, but it's a sacrifice that people unfortunately have to make, and they have to, and you don't have a choice. You can only afford what you can afford, and unfortunately, many of these manufacturers, to stay in business, they have to raise their prices, or they're just going to literally go out of business. We've made business plans that have operated well for years, and all of a sudden, in just like the drop of a dime, everything has changed, and everything is chaos, and everything is uncertain. So I don't know how it's going to go, but we got to hang in there.
Beth Benike, Busy Baby Placemat. Thank you very much for your insight. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you.